these mealy bugs progress. Isn't that absolutely nuts?
Tanner, that was really close, but those are not mealy bugs, though they are related to mealy bugs, so let's talk about it. So you are correct that this is a pest, and it is an insect pest that is attacking this crepe myrtle. This one is called crepe myrtle bark scale. Now another similarity to mealybugs is that they have different life phases, only the crepe myrtle bark scale is a little bit more extreme. So let me break this down for you. They will lay eggs that will be protected by the females underneath a waxy coating, which we'll talk about here shortly. But when those eggs hatch out, they are young and immature and they're in their crawler phase. And it's in that crawler phase that they actually move about from one area of the tree to other parts of the tree, or potentially will crawl via the branches or the ground from one tree to another tree. And in that crawler phase is when they're most susceptible to insecticide sprays. And that's because as an adult, once they reach a place where they want to start feeding on the tree more, they're going to become sessile. That means that they are going to stick to the bark of that tree and they will coat themselves with a waxy-like substance. And that waxy coating that they put all over themselves, it makes them very much impenetrable to insecticide sprays because, well, the sprays just can't get to the body of the bug to kill them. So how do you get rid of crepe myrtle bark scale? First is properly identifying it. I showed you what it looked like, and so did Tanner. But what he didn't show you is that when you squish these bugs, there's actually a pinkish red juice that comes out of them, and that shows you that they're still alive, because if you do the proper treatment and actually end up killing these bugs, when you squish them, they're just going to be kind of that whitish gray color inside, and they're going to be kind of dried out. Now, another thing to keep in mind is they do have natural predators, and those natural predators are making their way to the southern United States where we find the crepe myrtle bark scale infestations. So different types of lady beetles, such as the twice-stabbed lady beetles, are really good predators for the scale insect, but there are also predatory wasps that will come in and eat the scale as well. The other thing that you'll see associated with the scale on the crepe myrtles is a black sooty mold. You see, the scale like to exude a sticky honeydew substance that will then drip down and fall all over the trunks and leaves and anything that's below them, and that's a great place for that black sooty mold to grow, is within that rich honeydew substance. The good news is crepe myrtle bark scale is mostly an unsightly pest. It doesn't seem to kill the plants. It can slow them down, it can deprive them of moisture, it can slow down the blooms even, but even if you have this on your crepe myrtles, they're not usually going to die. Now, if you are not seeing the predatory insects wiping out the crepe myrtle bark scale, you probably need to treat with an insecticide, and there's two main ways of doing that. One is attacking the crawler phase. So the crawlers come out in the early spring, and you should probably monitor for them using double-sided tape wrapped around the trunks. That's going to show you whenever those crawlers get stuck to that tape that it's time to spray your tree and treat it with an insecticide. And you can use almost any insecticide that's labeled for scale insects or soft-bodied insects on your plants. The other way of treating them is with a systemic insecticide. So this is going to be taking something and either spraying it, or more commonly will be to mix it with water and pour it onto the roots of the plant. It gets taken up through the vascular system of the plant, and as those adults are feeding on the plant, they're going to ingest the insecticide and it's going to kill them basically from the inside out. So there you have it. Tanner was almost right in this, and now you know what to do if you do have this issue on your crepe myrtles. Now, keep in mind that Tanner is an indoor houseplant person, and I have learned a lot from him regarding indoor plants, and he's learned a lot from me regarding the outdoor plants. So it's a good balance here.